Computer. Good afternoon. It's Lorraine here, and we're doing another ownership, taking ownership of our health through the principles of the core alignment. And today we're going to focus on the word notable. So, Lynn will pass it on to you to get us rolling on notable.
On notable. I thought notable was quite a nice word, you know. I actually, oh dang, I had printed out what it meant. But anyways, here we are on Halloween 2022. And we're going to be adding to how to bring more awareness to our health and wellness through looking at different concepts. And today we're going to focus on things that are notable, worthwhile, things that we like to put our attention on and maybe take note of. So we're going to start with a question, and the question we're going to start with today is, what is something that other people do that gets your attention that you wish you could do too?
Oh.
So my name is Lynn and I'm in Calgary, Alberta. And something that other people do that gets my attention that I wish I could do too. Well, things that get my attention, I guess, you know, this is the whole social media thing, but I see people singing, you know, I often follow different people that will sing, you know, a song, or they're just showing up online singing. And I really would like to just be able to allow song and voice and things come through. I think singing is something that is just beautiful. It's a way of, you know, sharing something beautiful. And I came across this one woman who was a shaman from down in Peru, and she sings these icaros, that's what they're called. And oh my God, her voice was so beautiful. And maybe it's just the beauty of somebody projecting their voice in a beautiful way. It's very uplifting. So that's something that other people do that gets my attention that I wish I could do too. How about you, Madeline?
I'm Madeline. I'm in Calgary, Alberta. And before you even spoke of singing, I immediately thought of something that someone does that I wish I could do too. I'll paraphrase, is speak another language. When I hear other people speaking to each other in another language and I don't have a clue what it is, it doesn't, sometimes it irritates people that they're saying things that are, foreign to them. But I just get incredibly jealous that I can't speak another language. I've even tried French, which of course is kind of a common thing for Canada, but I am just lousy at other languages. So I am always noting other people speaking different languages.
Awesome. That's cool. Yeah. Olive?
My name is Olive. I'm in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. The thing that I see other people doing that I would like to be able to do is draw. I never seem to get beyond stick people. My grandkids love drawing games like Pictionary and that sort of thing. And they laugh at my attempts. I could draw. Yeah.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with sick people. Something that that gets my attention that other
say your name, say where you are.
I'm Lorraine from Osoyoos, British Columbia. Something that gets my attention that other people can do is just stand up and enunciate a public presentation without stumbling over words and ha and just have the confidence of being a good orator. And of course, I'm learning along the way, but I've never been able to do that. And I stumble quite a bit here. But speaking of stick people, all of, I have a girlfriend that I still in touch with. I was in grade school with her back in grade 4 or 5, and she drew beautiful stick people with expression. And
yeah.
and so stick people are good things to do.
Well, I thought that question would be quite notable because often one of the concepts in core alignment is looking at our other people's statements that we make, and we call them willing guards. And it's the part of us that often they're there to they kind of can defend us in some ways. And so with being notable and things that are notable, they're also inspiring. So, you know, when I think of something that's notable, it's worthwhile taking notice of. You know, it could be anything from, you know, seeing the leaves turning color and having them so vibrantly stand out, or seeing somebody do something that is just as coming through them and it's inspiring. It's like what you were saying, Lorraine, when somebody just gets up and is able to speak without any kind of, you know, they just show up and are able to present something, or singing a song, or drawing for that matter. It just comes through them. So what are some things in your life that you find notable, Madeline?
Some things in my life that I find notable. I think that the fact that I have, I don't know, I call it reinventing myself at various periods of my life, is quite notable. I have changed my direction any number of times, and am always kind of willing to embrace another something when the time comes for it to have another focus. So I think that's, I don't know, I am proud of myself for having that as a notable aspect of my life.
Shifting gears and
Shifting
changing.
gears. Yeah. Changing it up, doing something different.
Yeah.
How
about you, Lorraine?
Well, something that is quite notable in my life right at the present time, that a feeling that I can be focused on a project or a thought and put my total attention on it and get quite inspired about what I'm doing, because it feels good for me to do it. And I can, as I say, I have to sit on it for a while, and then, well, this sounds good, and I'll change this. But I find that quite notable that I'm doing that at the present moment, or right at this moment.
Cool. Very cool. And many times that you've done that.
She's telling on me.
Well, I have to, because I mean, you're that's one of the notable things about your wellness, is your ability to take an idea and just make it happen. So,
you know, and even if it doesn't really turn out, at least I felt good about doing it at the time.
Yeah.
So, and you learn just whatever. So.
And what about you, Olive? What's something notable about?
In my life right now, I think would be confidence in solo travel. I was widowed last summer, and I sort of pledged to myself that I would be brave enough to travel. I've made several car trips and The end of the month, I'm flying to New Hampshire to visit with my family there. So that's what's
Wow,
now.
cool, cool. It's like Madeline shifting gears, hey?
Years, yeah.
Solo job. Well, something that's notable for me in my life, I've always been learning. I have been a lifelong learner. And I think graduating high school and, my early years was, I wasn't one to go to post-secondary or a huge post-secondary program or anything like that, but I have been learning, self-learning all along. And what's notable right now for me is that a lot of the things that I have been learning are all coming together right now, and it feels like it's my time to bring together all the things that I've learned and share in whatever way I can. So that's been quite notable for me, and I'm very excited about what I'm still learning. And I was saying to my husband the other day that, I just really feel like I'm just on the precipice of going back to school. Like I'm going, to university for the first time. And so that's quite notable. I'm considering going into a program next year that would be a lot of studying, and I haven't quite committed to it, but it's quite notable that I would love to just dive in to that kind of study.
Okay, and on that note, Lynn, there has been very senior people graduating with masters in their senior years, so
yeah,
you're on track.
That's right.
Your senior years.
I feel like I'm just beginning. And of
Yeah.
course, some things that are notable too is like, what do I want for next year is sort of what's coming up for me, and allowing myself to desire those things without hearing somebody say, oh, these guards and gatekeepers, you can't do that, or what do you want that for? And all those nice little other people statements that come up for me. So how do you think being notable, the things that are notable in your life, how does it contribute to you feeling good in your body, feeling good in your family, feeling good in your life? How does it, how do those things that you notice are notable for you right now, how do they really contribute to your life and your living? Olive? Like, how does traveling, this solo travel, how is it contributing to your
I think travel is like learning. The more you do, the broader your outlook on life becomes, the more self-confident you become. I just think it's for me, it's a builder of self.
How do you think it's contributing to your body and your wellness?
Well, it doesn't contribute to my body and wellness a whole lot when I sit on a plane for 10 hours, but I think it maybe helps me with patience and persistence, and
awesome.
Not sure just where I would go with that question.
How about you, Madeline?
How does it contribute? Gee, it is a I'm not absolutely sure how that contributes, but I do know that my desire to have something different almost always is it's like having that faith that the universe has your back, right? That there is moments where it's like, how could that even happen? But it happens. So, you know, when you need something, it happens. Like there is, or when you desire something, it happens. And there is a formula that becomes more about perhaps faith and more about alignment and more about, you know, so that contributes to my well-being because there's like an ease of life, and that contributes to my well-being in a big way, that I'm not angsty and upset and, you know, freaking out and worried, that really there is a lot of ease involved. And I think that's primarily it. Yeah.
Nice. What about you, Lorraine?
I think I quite agree, Madeline. I think it does bring on the adrenaline, and it tends to relax you. And it's also, it could be almost like a meditative thing, that which, you know, if your body's in that state and your mind, you're not worried and festering over things, I think it does help with your well-being and your clarity of thinking. And if it only would resonate in my hip, I would be happy.
Just vibrate the cells.
Vibrate.
A little bit, right? Well, you know, I think when we're doing something we love, and it's something that is like a skill set that we all have in our very own unique way, it's a notable quality. And if I'm aware of what that quality is and I can totally be with it in a way and own it, like, you know, like owning your desire to do something different, and owning your ability to have an idea and just totally, you know, make it happen, or, you know, own that place of doing something that you haven't done before, and you know, being able to be mobile after a big change. You know, those are, to me, those are like notable things that help us stretch and, you know, be able to do something we haven't done before. And there's some value to doing something different, right?
Totally.
I went rock, my kids, my two older daughters like rock climbing, the climbing gym, and I went climbing with them yesterday, and it was quite notable. I got to the top of the wall twice.
Woohoo!
And you know, it was very notable for me. And now I wouldn't often go with them, you know. I think, oh, too old, or when am I going to do that? I'm going to hurt myself. But it was really something to climb up a wall with just a rope, and get beyond the one line without freaking out. So I think, you know, I feel really good. Like I was quite stiff after, and I had to do a lot of stretching and, you know, getting my body back. But it was quite notable because I ended up doing one that was a little bit harder at the, like I got so excited about the first two, then I decided to just do another one. And of course that one was, I could only get halfway up, and, you know, and then I'm flinging around on the rope, and when I get back down, I'm flat on the ground. Anyways, what I learned from it is that my mind can get ahead of me. Like, you know, it's like, oh, that was really fun, let's go do that, you know, which is always a very notable thing for me to stop and just say, you know, I could just easily just do the easy one over and over and over again. So what way can you noticing what's notable in your life really support you in your next steps that you're going for, Lorraine?
What's presently notable that's going to support me for the next step?
Yeah.
I think just continuing on course and just seeing how far my adventure is going to be, and what the outcome is, um, and yeah, just growing from what it is. I think it's just the excitement of seeing how far it can go.
And tell us what it is.
It is.
That's notable.
I am looking to my future. I want to be in an environment that I'm not that suits me, and I'm looking at an eco wellness environment where I'm going to be eating the proper food, getting the proper rest, getting the proper support, and not having to be plugged into what's existing today with the retirement village type of concept and medical things. I'm looking at an alternative, and I'm developing my ideas on paper, and I'm sharing them with my groupies.
Awesome.
My vision is Vision 25 to 2025.
Got it. Got it. And Olive, how about you? How old?
Repeat that question.
Well, with where you're at today and some of the notable things that are coming up for you, how can you know, this concept of the things that are just worthwhile paying attention to support you as you know move forward with your next steps?
I think the notable things that I've mentioned have to be a continuing work in progress. I've got a trip planned this month. When I get back from that trip, I think I'll just plan another one and just keep putting one foot in front of the other. Something I'd like to do eventually is find a group of like-minded women who are interested in solo travel. So that's kind of my goal in that field, I guess.
Cool. Awesome. How about you, Madeline?
Well, I guess being that the focus or the notable is being trusting that the next thing will come, that I'll be open and ready to receive whatever the next thing is, because I've got things on the go and always willing to be open to, whether it's in that little thing that I'm, figuring on, or something different. I'm always just wanting to stay open to whatever is the next thing. So receiving, like, that's the biggest thing, right? We can say we are open, but can you actually receive when it lands in front of you? That's really sometimes a bigger step. So that's what I'm into.
So be ready to be ready, right?
Be ready to be ready. Many blessings.
Yes. Yes. Well, I guess what is it for me? How does it support me? Well, I just really like being able to just show up and focus on something really simple, and then bring together a great conversation with amazing people and gather information that supports all of us in whatever way or form. And I just think it's really notable that there's a collaboration, and I think in that collaboration it's a contribution to not only myself but everybody. And if I'm feeling uplifted about my life and what I'm doing, I think it ripples out, and similar to you, Madeline, is like I'd like to be ready
Mm-hmm.
and be able to shift gears and stay open and kind of drop the barriers, drop any barriers, any defenses that might be there, and just see what happens. So what will you take with you from this conversation that will support you until we talk again? Lorraine?
What I'll take with me until we talk again, I think it's, as you say, it's just the fact that we got together to discuss this, and it's kind of exciting that we acknowledge each other in our journeys of success. And I think that's what I'll take. It's just that, just the conversation. It's so good to be even on Zoom to talk about these things, even if we can't be in person. But this has been absolutely wonderful.
Olive?
I will take with me to support me for the rest of my life the concept of always planning, always having something to be looking forward to, and also what you were saying about being receptive to things that come into my life. That's what I will take.
Awesome. Well, Madeline?
What I will, sorry. The moment of being notable really at the beginning of this was like, I thought, oh, notable, that's kind of a old-fashioned word, but it is not. It isn't. It's very, and so I will take that with me. It's a very hip word, and and that's what I'll take with me that will support me until we meet again.
Awesome. Well, what I will take with me from this conversation until we meet again is, yes, there's so many things that are notable in life, and it's that, worthy of attention, right? Worthy of being noticed, remarkable was one of the words,
right?
Noteworthy, right? Outstanding, important, significant. So it's kind of it's kind of got an old-fashioned flair to it, and but yet it's so rich. So what I take with me from it is well, acknowledging the things personally that we each have within ourselves that are notable. Like, so that self-acknowledgement of the things that I have done, the things that you have all done, the experiences that you've all had, that we've all had in life that are notable, that we stand on and have formed who we are, and that we're always forming more things that are notable. So what will you take with you that'll support you for the rest of your life, Madeline?
What I will take with me that will support me for the rest of my life is the reflection is really handy, really a good thing to do. It's really worth doing regularly, just reflecting on what you've done, what you want, where you're at, checking in with yourself, really. That's a good thing.
Yeah. Olive?
I will take with me the recognition of the things within ourselves that have been notable, that are notable. I think we underestimate our attributes and our strengths.
Lorraine?
Yeah, I think, and you had mentioned this, Lynn, that I think what I'll take from the rest of my life is the fact that there's a ripple effect that goes out into the universe, because there's a lot of things that are notable on the negative side of things that can interfere. But if you're positive about the things that we've just discussed today, and the ripple effect that will just smooth the waters a bit. And I think that is the important part, is the inner spirit that we have that really makes people like to be around us because we have that persona.
Yes, indeed. Well, what I will take with me that'll support me for the rest of my life. What I take with me right now is I have an image of a rose that bloomed in Dan Michael's garden this past fall, and he had posted it on Facebook. And a tribute to Kate Michaels, who passed last year or this year. And her message was miracles happen every day. And I coached with her for so many years. And every year at this time of year, we would revisit the time of year that we're in, because it's that time of Thanksgiving and things ramp up all the way until Christmas. And it can be quite notable. And I think the thing that's notable for me is that she is shining down like nothing else right now in her miracle that she is in wherever she is. And it's quite notable that her message and her work ripples out. And so I'm going to just share that little rose that was blooming in his garden in the middle of October. So
yeah. I don't know if all of you, if you're familiar with these Kate Michaels that Lynne's talking about. Maybe just explaining.
I'm not.
Yeah. So Kate was the founder of the Emotional Wisdom Training Institute, and she was my coach. And Kate Michaels, Kate Michaels, and she developed the emotional wisdom training work, and she was a core alignment specialist and emotional wisdom trainer, and I trained with her for years and years and years, and she passed from cancer in June this past 6 months ago, and so she has left quite a notable impact on many people. And so a lot of this work is as a result of her blessings that we all collaborated on, but she was really a visionary. And so not sure where it's all going, but the message is still coming through.
Yeah.
That miracles happen every day.
Yeah, absolutely.
So thank you for showing up. And
Okay, well, thank you, Lynne, for giving us a nice session this afternoon. So the next week will be on E, and it's going to be evolvement. Is that a good word? Evolvement? I mean, that's what I've got written. We'll have to really ponder on that one. Anyway, thank you for coming, and we will see you next week.